He shocked the Catholic world by being the first pope to resign in over 600 years. And now Benedict XVI has said goodbye. A goodbye that has left those behind still wondering why he resigned. Advanced age, or a Vatican and Church embroiled in a series of scandals and power struggles that have fascinated the world but also tarnished the image of the Holy See. A Vatican criticized for its secrecy, a secrecy which will continue with the voting of the new Pope.
A conclave, of course, it comes from the two Latin words meaning cum clave, with the key, because the cardinals are actually locked into a room while they vote for the new Pope. Now, in times past, they used to be locked in until they came out. Now, of course, they go in the morning, they come out for lunch, they go in the afternoon, they come out for dinner. So it's not like the old times, but there's still a great bit of secrecy. In fact, the penalty for breaking the rule of secrecy in a conclave is excommunication. So it's taken seriously.
A secrecy that's taken seriously to choose a new pope who will have his pontificate plate full. A pope needed to reform the Vatican, but who can also mend the tension between various interest groups' occurrence that many say have left the Vatican divided and ungovernable. Competing currents such as the Jesuits and the Legionaries of Christ, or the Communion and Liberation and Opus Dei.
Most religious orders actually do not have a great number of cardinals who will vote in the conclave. Keep in mind that only the cardinals under the age of 80 can vote, and there are only 117 of them. So we haven't seen a great number of new members of religious orders added to that number of voting cardinals. You know, Opus Dei under Pope Benedict, I think maybe some people expected Opus Dei to rise to even greater power. That really hasn't happened.
While Opus Dei may not have the power it once had in the Vatican, it still has the power to fascinate for its alleged secrecy and cult-like practices. But it's also a well-organized institution which helped it earn the nickname the Santa Mafia. Joan Juventeni is a priest in Barcelona. Here he shows us a statue of Opus Dei founder José María Escrivá, who believed that Opus Dei, or the work of God, could be done by everyone. Escrivá was canonized under Pope John Paul II.
The
statutes of Opus Dei are more and more public. The centres are open. You journalists have come sometimes to film us celebrating Mass. Now they say there's something ancient or hidden. It's not true.
Although it may be less secretive today, Opus Dei came under scrutiny after the book and film The Da Vinci Code portrayed Opus Dei as a cult-like organization with its followers practicing self-mortification. Not true today, argue its members, who number some 80,000 worldwide and who are said to be highly educated and well connected to powerful institutions. Paloma Olavide is a doctor, mother of 6 children, and a member of Opus Dei.
Secrecy, I don't know in what sense. Of course, throughout history and everywhere, not just in religion, and since I was small up until now, things have changed. My life, for example. I've belonged to a union for 12 years now, and its way of communication has changed. I haven't given my PIN code number to Opus Dei because it's not in my style. In fact, at the union where I work, they know I'm a member of Opus Dei, and I've never been told anything like, say yes to this or no to that.
Maria Asuncion belonged to Opus Dei for 14 years. She left when she was 34 years old. She says women were treated more like servants than equals. For her, Opus Dei is still very conservative.
Opus Dei is still incredibly macho. The problem is that when it was created in 1928, the vision of women was the vision Opus Dei had at that time. For several years it was way ahead of the social mores and values, and then for a while Opus Dei was on the same level. But now society has changed so much and surpassed Opus Dei by galaxies, while Opus Dei has remained stuck in 1928.
80-year-old Ramon Rosal wrote a book about his 23 years as a member of Opus Dei. During his time there, everything was controlled, including his paycheck. He says he was drawn to Opus Dei for its approach to God through work, and he became a priest. He left when the daily control over his life was too much.
Por la falta de libertad de pensamiento.
For the lack of freedom of thought, not in Spanish politics, but the lack of freedom of thought in philosophy, sociology and psychology in human sciences. Also for the norms, as well as for the quantity of regulations. Everything was regulated. Even the length of the tablecloths. It was a super organized organization.
It's very useful for me because I'm doing a story on it.
A super-organized organization. For Maria Paz Lopez, a religion expert, this could hold the key in part to Opus Dei playing an important role in the Vatican under the new Pope.
The process of electing popes.
Maybe it's true that this type of group, and specifically Opus Dei, is much better connected with society and societies in countries where it has members, and with the real world than a bishop in his palace. They're better connected because they're in the professional world, the world of banks, of hospitals, and it's also true that since the beginning of Opus Dei, they've always been able to attract relevant people.
Han tenido la capacidad de captar personas relevantes.
Giuseppe Ignasi is a member of Opus Dei. He's known Benedict XVI since the 1980s. He says the Vatican is a small and closed circle. And although the Holy See is a state, for him its governance is based on feeling and not religious institutions.
Los jesuitas, Comunión y Liberación, Opus Dei, etc.
All these institutions, the Jesuits, Communion and Liberation, Opus Dei, they normally provide the Vatican with an administrative workforce.
De tipo administrativos. Los que deciden de verdad en el Vaticano.
The real decision makers in the Vatican are those who govern the 10 dicasterios or ministries. They're normally cardinals and the secretaries of the 10 ministries who are archbishops. The problem can arise when, among those people, who are very few in numbers, and the Pope, who's the supreme leader, there can be some who are not in sync, not on the same wavelength as the Pope. And this doesn't come so much from any influence from the groups, but it's more a question of empathy, sympathy, or antipathy.
The conclave will choose a new pope before Easter, a pope who faces not only the challenges of reforming the Catholic Church, but of reuniting those who hold the key to the Vatican's future.